Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back, and today I'm doing a review of the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. So I have the Platinum Gold version, let's get into it. So talking about the specs of this phone, it's got 4GB of RAM, a quad-core 2.3 GHz Mongoose, plus a quad-core 1.6 GHz Cortex A5 III, and it has an Adreno 530 GPU. So first I'm going to be talking about the body of the phone. So it's actually 1mm thicker than the predecessor from last year. This actually is a good thing. This means that Samsung were able to pack a 3600 mAh battery into here, as well as removing the camera hump, or minimizing it anyway, so that when you put your phone down, it won't rock as much on a table or a desk. The button on the front is also more indented into the phone, so there's less button presses in my pocket I've found as well. Taking a look at the side of the phone, we have the really tactile buttons, the same as always from Samsung, and I must say these buttons are very nice. They're probably the best buttons on any smartphone that I've felt to date, and they're very impressive. So overall I'm impressed by the body and the design of the phone, so let's talk about the top. So taking a look at the top, we have our usual SIM card tray here, but this year Samsung have put back the SD card slot, which was much missed. And now we're able to put up to 200GB expansion with a microSD card. I currently have a 128 one, and I switch between that and a 64GB, depending on what content I want to see. Now on the bottom, we have the usual iPhone 6 styled bottom here. We have Quick Charge 2.0. for wireless charging as well as fast charging with the cable. We have the usual headphone jack, and we have a speaker which is slightly more muffled this year and is a little bit tinny at times due to the inbuilt waterproofing for the IP68 water resistance. So taking a look at the front of the device, we have Corning Gorilla Glass 4, which is very scratch resistant. I don't have any scratches so far, and I actually keep it in my pocket with some keys at school, so it's actually pretty good. And the glass actually has more of a 3D kind of, I think it's 2D glass, but it looks kind of 3D and it pops out a little bit more than last year's, which is great. Now the fingerprint scanner is something to talk about. It's much improved this year. It's very fast, and if not on par with the iPhone 6s. But it's not just fast, it's also very accurate, and it gets your fingerprint right almost every time. I'd say 9 times out of 10, it gets it right, which is great. So the camera is very quick to get into on this phone. You can simply double press the button from anywhere, even when the phone's off, and it'll quickly launch the camera app. Now the camera is very good, and it has an aperture of 1.4, which means you get a great depth of field, and the autofocus is very quick due to the dual pixels. But the detail is very great in daylight. Even though they've gone down to 12 megapixel, it's enough to carry great detail. Due to the low megapixel count, the pixels are actually larger this year, so it means we can take night shots without blurry noise in the background, which is great. So going on to look at the actual software, we have the usual TouchWiz. We have the Apps Edge this year, which can carry a lot of features. You can have your weather, tools, RAM usage, data usage, and all stuff like that which you can quickly access. And the actual software running on this guy is Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow. I've already had a security update, which is great. Love getting updates, but that is the software currently, and I'll show you the Android Marshmallow animation. It's just this little marshmallow game if you didn't know, and it's kind of like Flappy Birds, a little bit of a rip-off, but it's a great game to play if you're a little bit bored and you're just in the settings app for some reason. So if we hold down the app switch button, it will actually launch split screen multitasking, and we can choose 2 apps to run. So if I choose Facebook and Instagram, I can run them side by side just as the usual Samsung TouchWiz allows, and I can make one of them bigger, and I can pretty much do anything I want. I could run like 10 applications using this method of opening a smaller window, and you can also minimize this and then open it again. So it's great. And overall, I don't use that, but it's kind of cool to show off to people, and it's another one of them features Samsung put in for no reason, and they know people don't really use it. If you do use it though, that's great. You have another feature on your list. But the software overall is great. I'm not that keen on the overall aesthetics of it, but you do have your theme manager there, and you can also change the grid layout to meet your needs. However, I will be using Nova Launcher, as I've currently been using out of the box. I did just change it back to show you guys what the actual TouchWiz looks like. You get your white notification bar up there, which is a little bit different. It used to be blue, but Samsung's kind of minimalizing it down a little bit. You can change that using the theme store, but overall, I'm going to be using Nova Launcher, like I said, as I like the customization of it, and I also just like that stock Android look. So now Samsung has definitely minimalized the apps they put on this thing. It used to have a ton of junky apps, but they've actually removed the majority of them. You only really have about 4 or 5 Samsung stock apps on this device. You don't even get the music app, and you'll actually have to go and download that from the Galaxy App Store. Now the battery life is great. It's 3,600 milliamp hours, so you can kind of expect how good it's going to be. On average, got around 5.5-6 hours of screen on time. At the most, when I'm not really doing that much stuff. When you're heavy gaming and watching videos and stuff, it will probably go down to about 4 hours, almost 5 hours. But overall, it's great, and it's probably the best battery life to date that I've used on a smartphone. So overall, that's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to join the community, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Comment down below if you have any questions or recommendations, and don't forget to smash that like button. So I'll see you guys later. Peace.